We're on, bro.
Welcome to
How's
the
it going?
Sid podcast.
That's it, bro. How you going?
I'm great. I'm very good.
You're right, bro. This is a bit weird to... Oh, that should be fine. I can see you.
What's weird? Well, I just like to be able to see your face.
I know. I'm pretty in it.
I just like to be able to see your face. I was talking about you with my mother-in-law today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
What'd you say? Only nice things.
And she was talking about Sole Mio. And I was like, well, I have a friend that does that. That does that. He's Indian. Just didn't think I had any Indian friends.
Did you actually?
But I do. I do have Indian friends.
No, you do. Just the one.
I'm glad this is on video because I can tell from that camera it's going to look like we're in some sort of bunker, but we're actually sitting in Sid's front yard.
It is quite lovely, eh? It's a lot nicer than the... Usually I have the doors closed if it's like a lot of noise. But it's too hot, bro. It's too hot for it.
I think it's a nice touch. It's outside. I can see your spa pool. I'd like to have a dip in the spa pool. Should we talk
it's too
about your
hot, bro.
political ideology?
No, it's too public for it. Stop.
Do you not want to get deep in the political
I don't
realm?
know. We could. Depends what we get into.
Do
I
you
guess.
like Jacinda Ardern?
I've met her. You know.
Have you?
I have. I sang at her thing.
What thing? Her inauguration?
Yeah. This the last time she's done it. Youth choir went and sang. I met her. She's really lovely. Not sure about the lockdowns though.
Do you know what? I was talking to Nabi at the barbers today.
Yeah.
About his business and how it's
Shout out Grooming Cave.
Oh yeah, shout out the Grooming Cave.
Big shout out Grooming Cave.
They followed me on Instagram. Follow James Boyd Real Estate on Instagram for all your real estate needs. And he was talking about how hard he's been hit, him and his brothers. It's just absolutely insane. Like it costs them X amount to keep the shops open. They got two now. The other one's
Sylvia Park, eh?
Right?
Yeah.
And they get from the government like a quarter of what they need every month.
Yeah, it's nice. My mum was saying the same thing. Like the resurgent plan for them has been like terrible. I was lucky because I just work just the part-time thing, but all the singing stuff was all cancelled. So that was like X amount of money just like down the drain. I wasn't too convinced about this one. There'll be a lot of people that say otherwise, but you know.
Do you reckon there's going to be a shift in how many voters she has?
Yes.
By how
100%.
much?
I think National's going to get elected with Chris Luxon.
I like Chris Luxon.
So do I, to be fair.
He's like a bald John Key.
You know his kid went to our school.
Who?
God,
well,
what's his name?
I'm not surprised.
Will Luxon. Will
Luxton is Chris Luxton's son?
Yeah. Because I remember
No way.
I remember Will was saying one time that that his
Will
dad
was saying, my dad's Christopher Luxton.
yeah, his dad was saying, "Oh, my dad is the CEO of Air New Zealand."
You're joking.
On my life, bro. Yeah.
That's
So I don't know how that
interesting.
happened, but yeah, when Chris Luxon announced that he was going to like be leader of National and stuff, I was like, yeah, I went to private school.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Christopher Luxton is very refreshing compared to
Judith Collins, bro.
a Judith Collins or a Simon Bridges, isn't he?
So I mean, bro, like Jacinda, like what she's good at, in my opinion, is like
taking people's jobs.
Well, I mean, like just as like what you look at like a prime minister as, like she's a really good figurehead. Not 100% convinced about all the policies and stuff.
What policies don't you like, and why do you think she's
I'm getting taxed so much money, bro. We're getting taxed
how much would you want to be taxed for you to be comfortable being taxed but not feel like it's ripping out half your paycheck?
Well, when it's not ripping out half my paycheck. Like, what
10%?
was my...
12%?
Well, the thing is, like, when you sign like a contractor's agreement and you get withholding tax for artists and stuff, it's 20%.
Same as real estate agents.
Yeah. Is that that's all your commission is 20%?
It's all sole contractors.
Right.
So because you're not an employee, you provide a service. Just saying, my service is selling houses. It's 15% GST.
Yeah.
And it's 20% withholding tax.
Yeah.
Which is 35%. But then you got to remember you can write off GST.
Oh, true.
And
So are you a contractor with Ray
Yeah.
White?
Yeah.
Ah.
I'm a contractor. I'm not an employee.
Yeah.
If I was an employee, I would get paid a continuous wage or a salary. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's all commission. If you don't sing, you don't get paid. If I don't sell houses, I don't get paid.
Yeah.
So they set it up like that. So effectively, if they want to let you go, they can, and they can just keep you on at almost no cost. It's the best model for it, because if someone doesn't sell 5 houses in a year, then you've paid them for doing what, you know?
Yeah.
It's very motivating to need to go and get your own business. You know, you need to be a certain quality of singer to be able to get gigs.
Yeah,
if you're
exactly.
just a crappy singer, no one's going to put you in a gig. So it's very motivating, but there's, again, tax incentives for it. So if I go fill up my car, it's a business vehicle.
Yeah, exactly.
I receipt it and expense it, and then that cuts down on my GST.
Yeah, I know some motherfuckers that write everything off, like shoes,
All
that stuff. If
the
you wear
thing
it
is
for
that
gigs and stuff.
you can write off clothes if it's got your business logo on it. So if you embroider your business logo on the clothing to be public facing, like on the back of your collar, on here, you can write it off. It's part of your company uniform. Yeah.
There you go.
But like I wrote off my laptop, wrote off my phone.
Yeah, you would have had
depreciation on my car.
Yeah.
Miles on my car, fuel,
everything.
Insurance, payments. My weekly payment is GST deducted.
So did you just make the decision to just go into real estate just off the cuff, or you always want to do that?
So I won't name my former employee. I'm sure a few people who listen to this will understand who my former employee was.
Yeah.
But I felt very much in the 9 to 5 grind.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's great if you want a consistent paycheck. But I just felt like I was dying every day.
Yeah.
I came in, it was too much work for me. The literal workload was too much. I used to do reports, and it was like 50, 60 reports a month. So that's like 2 reports a day. And these reports would sometimes take me 2 or 3 hours at a time. Plus all my other obligations, which was like doing a whole bunch of other admin stuff. And I looked at the monthly paycheck, and it was like 3.5 grand. And I was like, oh my God, working 50 hours a week, 200 hours a month, not including travel. And the money just doesn't match the work. And my girlfriend's parents are in real estate. Amazing people, been doing it for many, many, many years. And one day I was just standing at the kitchen table, and it was like, I should do real estate.
Yeah.
And so I paid for my course. I did it in 6 weeks. And on the 5th of my 6 weeks doing it, I'd quit my job.
That's pretty cool, bro. Takes a lot of balls.
I was very scared.
Yeah.
I was very scared. I was going from regular paychecks on the 14th of every month, like very consistent, to I might not make money next month. Because if I don't sell a house, I don't make money. And so it's a big shift. I tell you what, though, I'm worth more now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, bro. Usually a lot of people that just go balls to the wall 100% in, like, usually works out for them. If you work hard, like some people just do it and then don't want to put in the work. You know what I mean?
Do you know what a great book to read about that is?
What?
It's called Who Moved My Cheese. You ever heard of that book?
No, I haven't.
It's a book about change.
Yeah.
It's about these mice and these other characters that go find cheese in a maze, right? And suddenly they find this great bunch of cheese. It's like an endless supply of cheese.
Yeah.
And they eat it all. They come back every day, and they go back home every day, and they come back and they got lots of cheese. Then one day there's no more cheese. Right?
Yeah.
Cheese dried up. So one set of mice go, okay, there's no more cheese here anymore. Let's go off and find some new cheese. So they go back into the maze and they go and find some new cheese. And they do find some more cheese. The other set of mice, they stay in the same spot and they go, but there's been cheese here for like months and now it's not here anymore. We'll just wait. Let's just wait to see if there's more cheese tomorrow. And they come back every single day. This is making a long story short, by the way. They come back every single day and there's no more cheese anymore. And the whole point of the story is that, you know, you may lose your job one day. Any of us could lose our jobs.
Yeah.
But if you keep going back to the same old thing, expecting a different result after something's already happened,
so yeah, it's just gonna.
Then you're gonna end up in.
It's gonna go crazy.
You're gonna go crazy, and in the story, you're gonna go hungry and die.
Yeah, that's it.
And I kind of felt like I was the other set of mice that realized there was no cheese here anymore, or I would say no enjoyment. I wasn't getting any pleasure out of it. And I left and had a look around the maze, and now I found better cheese. You know?
Yeah.
It's a funny story with cheese, but it makes sense.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
If you just want to stay stagnant in one place for your whole life, you might run out of cheese one day.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I felt when I was, for those first, like, kind of like half semester that I was doing law at uni.
Right, you did that, didn't you?
Fuck,
You
barely,
did that.
dude.
And why'd you do that? Because you thought it was
Yeah,
reliable.
because everyone says, "Oh, I'll just have like a backup," and like in the business, I don't want to say it's okay to have a backup because back then I was like, you know what, man, I'm like either 100% in or I'm like 100% out, and that's it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, I just think you just got to have the courage just to like leap into it if you really want it, and if you do really want it, then it'll happen for you. Like, I'm obviously at like the very, very, very early stages of my career now. And like, I don't really have to, I like, know that law wasn't the thing that I wanted to do.
So why'd you start law in the first place? This is
No,
what
that's it, bro. Like, it was just the,
So wait,
that safety thing.
you needed a mental backup as in a law degree to feel safe doing music.
100%.
And I
And
think...
don't forget, as well, I have Indian parents.
Mm.
That's a thing that that people have to consider as well. And like a lot of like Asian people that do the singing thing and the classical music thing as a whole have to
As a
deal with it.
career...
Yeah, like there are barely any people. Like, imagine, look, when we were in high school, how many like Asian people were doing piano, violin?
Everyone.
Yeah, of course. But how many
Everybody.
people do you see those like do that as a career? There's very, very few. There's a reason for that. A lot of people don't want to do it, period. And a lot of people, parents are like, well, that was your hobby. That was your hobby at school, and now let's move into a new job. I was really lucky that when I told my parents, they were like, well, we'd rather you do one thing really well than two things kind of shit. You know what I mean? And I don't know, dude. It's just like the content wasn't like that. It wasn't the content. This is the reason why I dropped it. It's like I didn't like doing this, But, dude, the people were just like so kind of like, the people were just the worst, dude. And
Why? What was wrong with the people?
it's just like super intense and like super competitive, and like there was no kind of like sense of collaboration or like sense of like safety. And the thing with music is like, even if it is competitive, like when you go to competitions and stuff, there's always a sense of collaboration in it when we do like shows and things. Like, it's the whole point. And I like that more. And even as like a competitive person, it's like quite nice. It like quells me out a little bit. But oh, dude, I'm so happy I quit that shit. Best decision of my life. But now we're at a different like decision of like, when do I leave JB? Because
Right.
it's not about if I want to.
Because you've been there for a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah, almost 5 years. I love
almost 5 years.
Let me preface this because this is going out publicly. I love JB. JB Botany is like...
Yeah, so I don't think anyone's going to fire you from JB High Five for talking about it on a podcast.
I know. There's like podcasts that barely anyone's listening to. But like, what I mean is like, it is, for a uni job, it is easily the best place to work.
Right.
100%.
But you don't want to be there forever.
God, no. Like, it's not to like shit on it or anything, but it's just like not my thing. Like, sales is not my thing. And I've seen people that it is their thing. I'm not one of those people.
Why do you think you're not a salesman? It's funny because
I am a salesman. I'm very good at the job.
You just said it's not your thing though.
Doing just retail sales at JB. I'm not a retail. I'm not meant for it. I'm meant to sing songs. That's why I'm here for.
You're meant to sing songs, so you're a singer.
Yeah.
You're not a salesman. You
I
do
am
sell things. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You do sell things.
100%.
But you're not a salesman. It's like I used to make coffee.
Yeah.
But I'm not a barista.
No.
I'm a salesman.
Yeah.
I used to sell freight. No, I just gave it away.
No, but you're a real estate agent. You're
Yeah.
not a JB Hi-Fi IT salesperson. You know what I mean?
This is the thing, is that I specialize in selling things. My parents used to say to me when I was little, I could sell ice to an Eskimo.
Yeah.
I had a lemonade stand outside. I used to sell shoes to kids in high school, in primary school. It's I feel like I was born to sell stuff.
Yeah.
But you are an obvious musical talent that shouldn't be selling TVs and phones.
I mean, like, the reason why I say this because it's so long ago, but I thought to myself like, oh, when I'm there, like, being in sales will be like so easy. It'll like help me talk to people more when I'm like older and like trying to sell myself as a musician. I think it does help. Like, I do a decent amount of networking as a singer, as everyone should. It's part of the job. Staying out and talking to people and stuff. But dude, just like the longer you're there, just like to say that 9 to 5 grind, And the money that you make out of it, that's the worst thing. Like, you know you're going to get an X amount of money, and it's so safe, and it feels so good once the paycheck comes in. But is it worth the 40 hours of fucking bullshit you have to go to just to do it? So I don't think it is.
Do you know what I've realised? And I was really scared when I left my 9-to-5 job to go into sole contracting for a service, you could say.
Yeah.
Is that I thought, what am I going to do when I don't have a monthly paycheck coming in? But now it's like the actual important part is the ratio of work to income. If I work 30 hours a week and I work 120 hours a month, but I make $15,000 that month, that is much better than working 200 hours a month and making $3,500 a month.
See, like, what you're doing now is just like looking through it. Like, I fear that a lot of people like that are my age that kind of quit what they're doing just to do the retail thing. I've seen it happen at JB like countless times. Like, young people that just like get caught up in the like 9-to-5 thing, even though that's really not what they wanted to do.
It's very comfortable.
Super comfortable. Super comfortable.
And you can stay there for a very long time.
Yeah.
And you can pay your bills, and you can pay for your car, you can pay for your new phone every year.
But that's 40 hours a week you're not going to get back, dude.
Yeah, that's the really scary thing about what I look back now and think is that I could have stayed there for my entire life, and I would never have even realised what was going on.
Yeah.
Never even have realised.
I don't think some people, like, because the thing is, bro, like, it's so easy once you see the money come in every week, or every 2 weeks, every month, you know?
And you know it's coming
too.
you
know, like, you know how your bills are going to be paid, like, you know,
2
everything.
2 p.m. on Tuesday, you know that there's a fresh cash lot going to be in
you just stop caring about the time. You just stop caring about the time that it takes. You know what I mean? But like you said, like, once you start looking at it through the lens of time and not the money that you get, it just works out so much more in your favor. That's what I told my dad, like, about like moving out and stuff. A lot of like ethnic parents, you'll notice all the kids stay home until like much later in their lives. A lot of people, like white kids especially, 18, 19, 20, they'll move out of home.
I was out of home at 20.
Yeah, exactly. See what I mean? I'm 22 now. I'm still at home. It's like it's a cultural thing. And a lot of it is like coming here, they don't want you to spend the money on rent because it's like, like my dad says, it's like dead money. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And like, I get the picture because you're not like, it's not necessarily like an investment because you're just giving your money away to like a landlord that owns the house. But I lived here. It takes me an hour and a half to get to uni every day. That's 3 hours I could have been doing like anything else. Get up at like 6:30 just to catch the bus at 7:30 to get to my 9 o'clock lecture. Come home at 10 o'clock after rehearsal and here by like 10:30. That's like over a 12-hour day sometimes.
So you think it's more beneficial to pay the money than save the time?
And save the time. I think if you have the means, then yes.
Okay.
I don't think everybody, like, I know some people that like just don't have a job and they like move out and they're just like becoming more and more in debt. But I've worked, like, you know, I worked all through university and I probably had the means to, and it would have been nice. And I have a bunch of money saved up, so I guess like hindsight, it's like one of those weird ones. Like, I wouldn't have had as much money saved up if I had moved out. And I love my parents.
So
like,
what do you think would happen if you stayed here?
If I stayed here?
Yep.
Well, I have stayed here.
No, but like until you're ready to, say, go overseas or buy a house or...
That's what I mean, bro. Like, I don't know. It's so weird because I've thought about that too.
I'll tell you this. If you said to any white young kid, if their parents said to them, you can stay here as long as you want until you can buy a house or you go do something where you can't live here.
Oh, I don't know, bro.
They'd be very, very, very happy with that.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, a lot of parents do kick you guys out, eh? Yeah.
Because their parents kicked them out at 15. They had a few years onto it. And then the parents go, hey, you go out.
Yeah.
Now, I'm still at home. I moved back home to look after my dad. But I was flatting for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of money, but it was a true flatting experience. And I could go out again. You know, if Dad got better or if he was in care, I'd move out. But I can tell you, it used to cost me $750 a month.
Yeah, that's nuts, hey. That's a lot of money.
That's almost $11,000-$12,000 a year. And I was getting paid
So
around
were you flatting during uni or afterwards?
After.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got my full-time sales job,
Yeah.
I went flating, and I was on about $64,000 a year, and so after tax, that's about 48, 45, and so I was spending a quarter of my money on rent. And if you think about the math behind that, if your parents said, you can stay here till you're 30, if that's when you're ready to buy a house or move out, then you stay here. You think about the money you would save.
Oh, I've saved a whole bunch of money. That's what I mean. But like, I was talking to my teacher about it as well. He was like, do you want to learn all of the skills about moving out when you're in a completely different place? And you've not only have to learn the culture, you have to and you have to make new friends, and you have to worry about all of this other stuff, as well as just being in a completely new school. Do you want to learn all of those skills whilst learning everything else? Or do you want to learn those kind of here, get yourself sorted here?
So where are you headed after? You're going overseas, aren't you?
Hopefully, one day.
Where are you going?
I want to go to the States.
You want to go to the States?
I really want to go to the States, yeah.
So would the idea be that you stay here until you go overseas?
Oh, it's looking like that now. I have been...
Because you do want to move out, don't you?
I do, yeah. It's time, but it gets to that age, bro. I get what you mean. Like, you can stay here till 30, but it does get to an age where you just got to, like, buy the coop. I reckon.
Yeah.
Like, if you... Like, would you want to, like, move back into, like, a full family home?
I wouldn't mind it.
Oh, I don't know,
Do you know
bro.
why? Because I know that $180 coming out of my bank account every week is a lot more,
I feel like you say that, dude.
more painful than having to wait for my sister to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Than having my parents come in every now and again and go, are you okay? What are you doing? I tell you, by the time you're 30 and you've got an extra 40...
That's why everyone that is 30, they do say that
and
shit.
you've got an extra $40,000-$50,000 saved up because you didn't blow it in rent.
Yeah.
Because you thought you wanted to fly the coop.
That's true,
okay,
dude.
what we could do is you could set up an exercise with your parents.
Yeah.
Right? You go, okay, I want to feel like what it's like to move out. You guys don't disturb me. You stay out of my room. You don't talk to me when I'm here. You leave me alone, and I'll pay you $180 a week.
But then, like, at that point, why wouldn't I just move out?
Exactly.
You see what I mean? Like, because one, that's never going to happen. Not in this house. And two, like, because my friend does that. I've got a friend that has exactly that situation. Pays $180 board. Oh, no, now it's $200 board. So that's rent.
Rent goes up.
That's full on rent at a place. His parents turn off his internet at 10 o'clock. And he swore while he was playing COD one time, and his parents took off the door.
So if you don't... You have to remember it's not just rent, though.
Oh, God, no. Yeah, but, fam, $200.
Rent, utilities,
plus
power,
everything. So
water,
let's
food.
Say $250.
Do you buy your own food?
Me, yeah. I'm self-sufficient. The only thing I don't pay for is rent to live at home.
Do you pay for your contribution towards the electricity?
I do not.
Do you pay for your contribution towards the water?
I do not.
Do you pay for your contribution towards maintenance?
What's maintenance?
Getting the lawns mown, getting the hedge trimmed, getting the house cleaned.
So. Yes, I do my contribution for groceries as well.
My point here is I discovered a lot more unforeseen costs.
Oh, 100%.
When
I think a lot of people
moved out, I thought $180 a week. Okay, I can pay that. That's fine. And then your roommate has used the shower 3 times a day for 2 weeks because it's hot and it's summer, and suddenly your water bill goes from $200 to $400.
Yeah.
And he's left all the lights on in the house, and suddenly your electricity bill is $550. Oh, and then his girlfriend gets a spa pool. Oh, let's put.
Did you guys get a spa?
Let's put the spa on the
that's
roof.
Fucking stupid.
And then you got to pay for the spa to keep it warm. And all I found was the money that I spent. If I had kept and invested it, I'd probably be $50,000 richer now. I spent probably about 25 grand in rent.
Yeah.
For what? Less help.
Yeah.
For often people who are your friends at the start, but you get quickly annoyed with. What if? Are you a very clean person?
Yeah, I'll say so.
Okay.
I'm not I'm messy sometimes, but I'm not like a dirty person.
Are you clean in a shared space, like a kitchen? Like,
Yeah.
do you do your own dishes
100%.
and?
Yeah.
Okay. So you know what would be a good kind of, if you want to feel what it's like to move out, get your parents to use dishes for a week and tell them not to wash them.
Oh, they do that shit anyway, bro. I'm telling you.
And get them to leave them everywhere around the house. And then you feel so disgusted by it that you go and clean it up. Now, that didn't happen to me, but I'm just saying I've heard stories like that.
Oh, 100%, dude. You remember Gracie?
Mm?
She was telling me this one time she had flatmates, and she would, because she's just so lovely.
Mm.
She would go and make sure like everything was like tidy in the rooms. But one of her flatmates, dude, like after a night out, would just like vomit into a bucket and just like leave the bucket there. It's like grow mold, like shit like that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
That is true, bro. Like, I'm happy I didn't move out like all this time, and maybe the time I move out would be when I go overseas. But I don't know, dude. I think it's different for everyone.
I don't want you moving out for the sake of moving out. I don't want you moving out for the pure independence of it, because there's a serious cost behind it.
Yeah, that's true.
If you have a good relationship with your family, if your sister doesn't annoy you too much, and you can stay here and save money, I would absolutely stay here until you
leave, eh?
Until you go.
Yeah, that's true, bro.
Because you'll look back and think, oh my God, thank the Lord
I have the money.
stayed there for those extra 2 years, because now I have an extra $30,000 that my friends don't have.
Yeah, that's true, bro.
It's sort of like going to Dunedin University.
Yeah.
You pay $80,000 to do what? And I've got friends down in Dunedin University who had the time of their lives, but now they've got $200,000 in student loan. I've got $9,000 in student loan.
Yeah.
Because I stayed at home, I caught the train in every day, I didn't party, and I worked a job. And I'm not one for partying.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that if I went back to those people and said, hey, I'll give you $200,000 if you just stay at home and go to Auckland University.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That's a yes.
And I feel like there's a comparison between going to university in a different place just to experience being in a different place and moving out before
For
you
the sake of
have to.
Yeah, for sure.
If you needed to move out, then I'd be like, go move out there.
Yeah.
But you don't need to.
Yeah.
You want to.
Yeah.
Because you want to go get a flat with your mates. You want to drink whenever you want. You want to,
Yeah, I mean, to be
not
honest, now
clean
that
the
you say it like
bathroom
that,
every
bro.
week. You want to just like hang out with the boys. And I get it.
Yeah.
Because that's why I moved out. And I did hang out with the boys for 2 years.
Yeah.
But I wish I had stayed at home. Now.
Yeah. But like, it's one of those hindsight, it's like 2020 type of things, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
would you have
look
say
at all the
you've
money I
learnt?
spent. Yes, I have learnt. I wouldn't have moved out.
That's true, but I have saved fucking shitloads.
I wouldn't have moved out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have.
I've saved a lot.
And think how much more you could save.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing I was thinking about as well. Like, my mates and I were talking about it, and I was like, it's a bit like if all three of you aren't kind of doing the same thing, it's a lot of organization. That takes a lot of mental effort. Like, I've only found this out last week. Like, it's all fine and well, kind of like, just move out with your mates and all that stuff. And when it comes down to the admin, it's a fucking ball ache, dude.
Who are your mates you want to move in with?
It's work friends.
What age are they?
My age, 22.
You're 22.
Yeah.
So imagine you own a house, right?
Yeah, right.
You've worked your whole
It's
life.
my imaginary $1.8 million house.
You've worked all your life for this rental property. You've got your rental property, and now you want to rent it out.
Yeah.
You're going to let 3 22-year-old males full of testosterone and beer move into your rental house?
Oh, I don't think I'm that type of 22.
No, you're not, but they're not going to know that.
Yeah,
they don't
that's
know
true.
you. They see male 22.
Young professional on the application as well.
Young professional. I'd find it hard to get a rental property.
Yeah, but they're giving out rental properties to fucking 18-year-old chicks, bro. Like, that's nuts.
18-year-old chicks and their parents' names
Mm.
with security deposits paid by their parents.
You reckon?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not super easy to... It's not about just having the money.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, with a rental, they're run by property managers 99% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So the property manager takes into account two things. Because property appraisals for rentals have a range. You might be able to have an appraisal, for 500 to 540. That's what you might be able to rent the property for. If you've got no demand on the property for someone to rent it, you might go down near that $500 range. But if you've got a lot of people that want to rent in that property, you're going to be up to the 540. Okay, so now the money's sorted. You have a lot of people that can pay $540 to rent out that house. So then you select on the type of person that the landlord may or may not want in that house. Now, if a landlord has a choice between a family with 2 kids, where the parents earn collectively $250,000 between them, and they have 2 beautiful kids and a Labrador, a Kia Sorento and a Toyota Prado, and the most hectic thing they're going to do with that house is water the garden twice a day.
Yeah.
That's who the property manager is going to choose.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, if you, by some chance, and it happens, I'm not saying this is impossible, I'm just painting a scenario. If you find a house that you like and you contact the agent and you tell them, we're 3 young males, we want a house to rent, you may get it. But you might pay a premium.
Yeah.
Because the listing on Trade Me will say $580 a week. And then you'll email the property manager and they'll say, hey, yeah, look, we've had a lot of demand. If you pay $620, we'll get you the house. So your $190 becomes $225 very quickly.
And I didn't even think about that. I didn't even know that was a thing, bro.
That's honestly an extra $35 a week, which is an extra $120, $160 a month.
Yeah.
You times that by a year.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Extra $2,000 out of your pocket.
Yeah.
What I would say is go over talk to some property managers in an area. Do you have an area where you want to rent?
Nah, bro, that's the thing, bro. Like, I don't even know if I want to rent anymore. Like, after this ball ache admin stuff that I had to do with my friends.
Okay, what was that? Talk about that.
It was literally because it's so kind of silly, and it's not that much of a ball ache, to be fair. But so I've got the job at JB. I'm still a student as well. One more semester left of the masters, plus all the singing stuff I'm doing. So that's fine. Like I've got money coming in, COVID willing. My other mate is still at uni, plus working. My other friend is out of uni, struggling to get a full-time contract at JB, even though he really wants one, but the management's been busy after COVID and stuff like that, so the paperwork hasn't really come through. He's just like, fuck this shit. And so now he kind of doesn't have like a full-time kind of thing. He doesn't know what he's going to do in terms of like, oh, is he going to go do this apprenticeship kind of thing, or really go in for the full-time. Just like, it's not really worth me like paying. Like my life's pretty good here. Like the house is nice.
Do you know what would save all that stress?
Not moving out.
Not moving out.
Not moving out.
You
That's
heard
what
it,
I mean,
you
bro.
heard
like,
it first. You've heard it first, people. When Sid is famous. It's 27th of December 2021, and Sid would have stayed home for the next 2 years.
Yeah,
and he would
there's a lot of money I could put into crypto.
Off. And should we talk about crypto? I bought another NFT today.
How many NFTs
do you want to see my NFT?
I don't know shit about that type of thing, dude.
I have bought a few NFTs over this last couple of years.
Yeah.
I just bought another one. It's a Bored Bunny ETF, and I'll show you. I'm way deep into crypto. I'm so deep in it.
I get the crypto. I just don't get the NFTs, bro.
Okay, well, we can have a little chat about that. How long have we been going? That's my NFT.
What time did we start?
I'm not sure. I'm quite enjoying it. That's my NFT. It's Bored Bunny 2177. I paid roughly $440 for it.
Did you pay by Ethereum?
Yep.
How much Ethereum is that? Is that 0.0 something in it?
0.099, 0.096. And I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hodl it until I can sell it for at least double. I might even list it for 1,000.
I just don't.
About 20% of my net worth is locked in between Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin.
Those are the 3 main ones, eh?
Well, they're the 3 I like. There's lots.
Because I had
Bored Bunny 2177.
Because I had Bitcoin,
You had Bitcoin.
I had Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yep.
And just before the China market crash, I sold. And it wasn't even that much. It was like 200 each way.
200 Bitcoin.
No.
Oh my gosh. You
Could you imagine?
definitely move out.
No. 200 NZD each way.
Okay.
Okay. And I sold just before the China crash. I was like, after that stuff happened, I was like, yeah. No, I'm done. This is not for me.
But you have to think about what it is, right? Like, what is crypto?
It's decentralized currency.
Right. So would you ever go out and buy $200 worth of Australian dollars?
No.
Why?
Because it'll decrease and like the worth will decrease, right?
Why?
Because of inflation.
What's behind inflation?
The government.
Okay. Step back a little bit.
Okay.
Inflation is supply and demand.
Yeah.
So when I have one banana, if that's the only banana in the world, by the networks of human nature, it's for some reason valuable, especially if a lot of people want to eat that banana.
Yeah.
If I have 10 billion bananas and there's 500,000 people in the world, is that banana worth more or less?
Okay, so this is my thing, right? Totally get it.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
Totally get all that stuff.
Yep.
Now, in terms of like investment, like
I'll say this. I don't think crypto is an investment.
That's what I keep saying to people as well. Like I'd rather buy in terms of like shares and
it's
stuff.
An investment.
I'd rather buy like Tesla stock.
99% of my money in Berkshire Hathaway Class B stock.
Is that like a what is that?
I'm telling the camera.
Teach me, bro. Teach me.
I am incredibly disgraced that my very intelligent.
Tell me how to sing songs, dude. I'll smash that.
Well, so Berkshire Hathaway is run by Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett.
Right.
It is their investment firm. They have two classes of stock. Are you on the internet? Can you pull that up, Jamie? If you have a look, if you type in Berkshire Hathaway Class A stock, you tell me how much that is. One stock.
Stock price.
Class A.
444,654 USD.
Right, and then type in Class B instead.
Oh, that's Class A. Oh, yeah.
That's Class A. Type in Class B. No, that's okay that you brought up Class A. I just want to see the comparison.
294.49 USD.
Right. I bought a very large amount of Berkshire Hathaway stock at about $200. Right?
Yeah.
I have 97% of my money in it. The rest is in crypto and cash.
Yeah.
If you're going to invest in something like Berkshire Hathaway, effectively what you're doing is you're purchasing a investment and holding company that buys and operates other businesses. So you know what? Do you know what Alphabet is?
No.
Alphabet owns Google.
Right.
Google is its own thing, but Alphabet owns Google. They're Google's parent company. Do you know what Dairy Queen is in the US?
Yes.
Berkshire Hathaway owns Dairy Queen.
Right.
So they are a capital allocation company.
Yeah.
They have a lot of money, and they use it to buy businesses and keep them on their holding sheet.
Yeah.
So that when Dairy Queen has a really good year, Berkshire Hathaway profits from that because they own the business. It'd be like you owning a bunch of rental properties. You get richer when the rental properties increase in price.
So is that kind of what like the S&P 500 is? Like if you invest in the S&P 500, you're just like invested in a bunch of different companies? That's how I understand it.
So the S&P 500 is an exchange traded fund,
right,
or an ETF, which is essentially, if you imagine a wicker basket of eggs, all different colors, all different sizes, different shapes, worth different amounts of money. That's an ETF. And the reason people like ETFs is something like Standard & Poor's 500 index is the top 500 publicly listed companies in the US.
Yeah.
And so when you buy one share of the S&P 500, you're buying one share that is equally distributed among the top 500 companies in America.
Right, yeah, got it.
So that is... It's different to what Berkshire Hathaway is.
So if you invest in... because Berkshire Hathaway owns a certain amount of companies, right? Yep. But the S&P 500 is like... So if one company is like 500 on the list, the next kind of year or whatever, if it's not on the S&P 500, it'll be a different company that you're potentially investing your money in. That's the difference,
and they're
right?
also weighted.
How do you mean?
So some of the top holdings in the S&P 500 are Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, Tesla, and they're weighted on I think their market cap.
Right.
So the larger the market cap of the stock, the higher its weight is within the S&P 500.
Yeah.
So if you have an oil rigging company that just happens to be in the S&P 500, it's not going to be weighted as strongly as Apple.
Yeah.
Because Apple is the largest company in the world.
Yeah.
So you could buy the S&P 500 and buy it until you're 65, and you will have $1 million in there if you spend $100 a month.
Yeah.
But what you are doing is essentially buying a weighted asset.
Yeah.
Whereas if you took all of your money and you invested in the top 15 of the stocks in the S&P 500, you'd probably have more volatile but better results.
Yeah.
People buy something like the S&P 500 for diversity and not having to think about it. Same with Berkshire Hathaway. I buy stock every month of Berkshire Hathaway.
That's what I like. Just not having to think about it,
I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
The money, boom, $3,000 in there every month.
Mm.
That's not the actual amount, it's more. But it goes in every month.
Fuck you, dude.
It goes in every month, and it just simply gets invested and sits there.
Yeah.
And I don't have to think about it.
Mm.
And then I trade options. I sell puts and I sell calls.
Yeah.
And that gives me a little bit of side income.
That's good, bro. It's so smart. Like,
Do you know what I wish every New Zealander under 35 would do?
what would you wish, James?
Take 15% of their monthly income and put it into something like the S&P 500.
I think it's important.
Because then when they're 65, they put, I think it's $400 US a month into the S&P 500 with an average annualized return of 10%, including dividends. You'd have $1 million when you're 65.
Yeah.
Now people go, that's not a lot of money. I'm going to earn more than $1 million over my lifetime. But how many people do you know that, separate from the ownership of their home, have $1 million cash when they're 65?
No, yeah, no one.
I can probably think of 5 people.
Mm.
And all of those people don't work 9 to 5s. They're often in charge of large businesses, or they have family money, or they own different investment things. They often don't. They often don't work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Which is what 99% of people do.
The whole passive income thing is like.
It's not passive. I hate that term.
Oh no, it's not passive. No,
I hate the
it's
term passive income.
It's not passive. This is another term for it.
I'm going to be a Grinch right now.
What?
I don't think there's anything apart from maybe inheritance, which is actually not even passive because someone has to die for you to collect it. I don't think there's anything that is actually passive income. I sell options, right? So I sell a put.
Yeah.
It means I create a contract that if a stock falls below my strike price, say a stock's $45, I sell a put at $40. If the stock falls below that strike price within my expiration period, it might be 2 weeks, a week, a year, then I am obligated to buy 100 of those shares at $40. I get paid a premium to do that.
Mm.
That is making money out of making a contract for something that I may have to buy in the future. I haven't picked up a shovel for that.
Yeah.
I haven't put on a tuxedo and have to sing an aria in front of 300 people. That is what you could call passive, but a lot of passive income requires a large amount of capital to create it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
My real gripe is with all these so-called gurus on TikTok and YouTube. They go, you can make passive income, you can make $5,000 a month, but you need $500,000 to start.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where are you going to get the 500k from?
The average 22-year-old doesn't actually have $500,000.
Yeah.
Do you have $500,000?
I do not.
I don't.
Yeah.
That is my problem with it.
Yeah.
So I think if everyone just put away 15% of their income every month and didn't look at it for... You'd look at it in 20 years. You started doing that now. You're 22, aren't you?
Yeah.
You looked at it when you're 42.
But like, thank God
You'd
it
be
didn't
like,
move out and...
I have $500,000.
Yeah.
And by the way, you would have been earning regular bill-paying money the entire time.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of my friends have put a bunch of money in to that kind of stuff now. Because it's like, people our age, like I would say for the most part, are like a lot smarter about their money than maybe like
parents.
the last generation. Yeah. But to be fair though, like there's another thing. Like my parents, like I think a lot of like I'm first generation here. A lot of people that move here, they don't do the whole like stock like the trading thing and share
we've
thing.
had a chat about this, haven't we?
Yeah.
We did have a chat about
Yeah, we
this.
did. That's right. I remember. And so like you just need something like tangible. And if you work more,
cash.
Yeah, it's
I
tangible.
Can see it in my bank.
Yeah, that's it.
It ain't going anywhere unless I spend it.
Yeah, I work for it. I get this amount. You pay me this amount. You owe me this amount, etc. That's done. Deal.
It's very.
It's pretty archaic.
It's very secure.
Yeah.
I've got 50,000 in the bank. Oh, that's great. I can send my kids to college.
Yeah.
I can pay my mortgage every month. And guess what? If I turn up to work tomorrow, there's going to be another 5,000 in there next month.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable. And they pay off their mortgage and then they retire. They sell their house for $1 million and there's their $1 million to retire on. But imagine if you did that and you had an extra $1 million in a brokerage account.
Yeah.
Because instead of buying that, those 5 bottles of wine every week that you spend $300 on a month, or that extra little thing, or that new cell phone every year,
just put it in
you'd have your house and $1 million.
Yeah, there you go.
Rich.
Yeah, that's the way to think about it, eh?
Because if you think about, I'm not going to be able to spend $400 a month, but if I don't spend $400 a month, I'm going to be a millionaire when I'm 60. And most people go, I don't want to spend the money when I'm 60. I want to have fun now. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Let's be clear. That's fair.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing. Do you plan on living to 60? Yeah, of course I do. Okay. So do you want to be poor at 60 or rich? I want to be rich. Okay. Why not sacrifice a little bit of fun now to be rich when you're 60?
That's what I mean,
Instead of having an exorbitant amount of unproductive fun now
100%.
and being poor when you're 60.
That's it.
And only having money when you pay off your mortgage and sell your home. I must sound like a party pooper, but I'm just saying.
Nah, well, I think I was like, for the most part, I was like that.
I'd rather sacrifice a little bit of time now and be rich when I'm 60.
100%. Just got to look towards the future. Yeah, I think a lot of young people are like that, though. So I want to have fun now. I want to buy the Gucci wallet. I want to buy the whatever.
I hate designer brands.
But I can't lie.
Do you like designer brands?
There's one Gucci wallet that I do really like, but that's it. The clothes are trash. I wouldn't buy it. It's $600, dude. I could use that $600 for anything else.
Tell me why you want to buy the... How much is it?
I don't want to buy it. I never said I want to buy it. There's one...
How much is it?
$630, I think, NZD.
$630. Sid's crazy.
I don't want it. I'm never going to buy it.
You brought it up.
Yeah, dude, it looks pretty cool. I can't lie.
Why? Why do you want it? Let's explore that.
I don't like.
Why do you want it?
It just looks cool. That's it.
Okay.
So I wouldn't ever buy it.
If it wasn't $600, would you buy it?
100%.
Okay, so the only thing that's stopping you is the $600 price tag.
Absolutely.
Okay, why is it $600 important to you?
Because I could use it for anything else.
Like what?
Well, I look at it like this, right?
Here's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to convince you that you have a better way to spend that $600 than buying the Gucci wallet. Because at the moment, you haven't told me you have a better way of doing that.
Well, I'll tell you how I think about it, right? I look at that $600 Gucci wallet. I'm just like, well, it cost me $120 to fill my car. So on average, it's about like 5 and a bit times that about 6 times I'm refueling my car.
In what, a month? A week?
Yeah, let's say.
You mean like it's gonna right? Yeah. That's about so every time 6 tank refills.
Every time I fill up my tank is $100 and something bucks.
Okay, so that wallet's worth 6 tank refills on the Prius.
That's it.
Okay, it's not good enough. Because how painful is it really to fill up your Prius?
Well, it's not, but like when that $600 is out of my account, it's like, well, I could have used that money. I've got a fucking cheaper wallet. I don't have any money to fucking put it in.
Stop. If you think about it like 3 of these or 4 of this or 6 times filling up my car tank, you're thinking about money in cash. Do you know what I think about when you say you want to buy a $600 Gucci wallet?
Go on.
I think that's 2.5 Berkshire Hathaway stocks.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to know why? Because if I bought 2.5 Berkshire Hathaway stocks for $600 and something in, I don't know, 45 years, it's going to be $10,000. So, and I think that's the difference, is I think about money as its ability to double and compound.
Yeah.
And you think about money as how many times
I can...
you can use it for other things.
Yeah. Or like, to be fair, necessity things.
Are you going to buy the wallet, though?
No. Well, if I bought my car, yes. God, I just can't see myself...
You want to, though. If someone gave you an extra $600, if I just transferred you $600 right now...
I wouldn't buy it.
You wouldn't buy it?
On my life, I wouldn't buy it.
Okay.
If you gave me the wallet, on everything that I have, I'll take that shit, dude. If you gave me the wallet, $600, dude, the first thing about come, I will not buy the wallet.
If you gave me a Gucci wallet that was $600, I would immediately sell it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do that.
I would immediately sell it, and I would give you back the money. I'd go, this is an insult to your intellect.
Oh my God.
The fact that you have done this. Now, in saying that, the other week I spent $649 on a pair of R.M. Williams boots.
Yeah.
What do you think about that purchase?
Oh, they're nice boots.
You think it was smart?
They do last ages, don't they? Yeah. It's like you buy one pair of those boots and they...
I think my father he's got 4 pairs, and he's had his oldest pair for about 18 years. 18 going on 19 years. And I think that's another good way to think about things, is how many times you use them. I mean, you did it yourself just then. You said this wallet is 6 tankfuls on your Prius. So you can't already there. But if you thought about, okay, that's $600 on a pair of boots, is if I wear these boots, I don't know, 10,000 times over the next 20 years, and you go 642 divided by 10,000, that's your cost per wear. I love that.
Yeah.
I love a cost per wear.
Oh, I love it. I do that at work as well.
It's like 6 microcents.
Yeah.
And then it becomes really justifiable.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like, what happens if you lose that Gucci wallet and you've used it twice? You've gone to a party.
You don't even use a wallet anymore.
And you've put...
That's the thing. You don't even use the wallet anymore.
Because everything's paid by Bitcoin.
No, everything's paid by Bitcoin, dude.
I think Bitcoin's going to be the main currency of the earth in 50 years.
50 years? I think the 50 years is too soon. I think it's probably going to be much later. The main currency.
Really? Yep.
No.
Yep.
Because think about how many old people there are.
All those old people are going to be dead in 50 years.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
Here's what I think about. Could a 40-year-old figure out how to use Bitcoin right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Are those 40-year-olds going to be alive in 50 years?
Probably not.
So everyone below 40 can wrap their head around Bitcoin now.
Yeah.
In 50 years, they're going to be the 90-year-olds. Which means that everyone below 30 and that is going to be born in the next 50 years will also understand Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Therefore,
I don't see it being the main... I see it becoming like a new... Like over the next 50 years.
Do you see it replacing the US dollar?
Not in the next 50 years.
Why?
I just think it's just too soon. Like,
Why?
50 years is not like that much time.
Why?
I think too many people still use it.
How long have iPhones been out?
When's the first one come out? Like 2007, 2008?
How long is that?
They're talking about something completely different, though.
Am I, though? I'm talking about consumer change.
Yeah, but
I'm talking about a different way of doing things.
Yeah, but like so many other things are paid.
Okay, I'll give you another one. How long have Teslas been around?
Well, I'd say like the last, give it like 8 years, 10 years.
Okay. Did you think there'd ever be such a thing as a sophisticated Tesla 8 years ago? Do you think if someone brought a Tesla from the future back to 8 years ago and said, there are a lot of these things now, and we're producing 1 million of them a year, do you think people would believe you, or do you think that you're on some sort of narcotic?
But is Tesla the main car out now?
I think Tesla, and I sound like an absolute geek boy talking about Bitcoin and Tesla, and it's so cringe, but I honestly think that's where we're headed. Apart from people who need gasoline and diesel-powered utility vehicles, like my father's Toyota Land Cruiser, which tows 5 tons and is mostly aluminum and wood because the tray is wooden, I think 99% of consumer cars will be something like a Tesla or a Tesla.
Do you think
I think you will buy those cars with Bitcoin.
I'm gonna try and like phrase this question like the best way I can to not sound like a moron. But do you
That's
think
risky.
Yeah. Do you think that the way that happens is if people stop comparing Bitcoin to the US dollar? Like there'll be a time where people will stop comparing, like, oh, my one Bitcoin is worth 67,000 US dollars. So every bit of that, like that Bitcoin's worth, is still tied to the fact that it's $67,000 US. You see what I mean?
That's why you have things called stable coins.
Right.
I think it's USDC.
Yeah, that's the
United States digital coin is a 1-for-1 of the US dollar.
Right.
And so what I think, I'll backtrack my point a little bit. I think the main thing that will happen first is you will have all US dollars converted into something that is like USDC.
Yeah.
Where there is no more cash. There is only online digital money.
I think a lot of people will start using cryptocurrency a lot more once stores and stuff are going to use it. But like, I just feel
Stores
like
can use it now. I bought a beer the other day with Solano.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, if you go to a bar, literally my point was going to be, if you go to a bar, will they take crypto? Will they take money?
You look at things like PayWave.
Yeah.
That's digital money. Your digital app on your bank is digital money. They don't have a cute little pink safe at the back that says James Boyd's money.
No.
And it's all my money stacked high and wide.
Yeah.
It's all digital.
Yeah.
So if you've got a system that is faster, much easier to use, can't get created out of nowhere, holds its value, why would that not become the new monetary system?
Yeah.
It's like if you had a horse-drawn cart and you had a Tesla, why would you not take the Tesla? Why would you stick with the tradition of the horse and cart? Because that's how it's been for the last 100 years.
I'm not saying that it won't be like that. I'm saying 50 years might be too soon.
Why? This was why, and I'll bring it back to the iPhones. How long have iPhones been around? Like actually been around?
I think like 2008. So what's that?
I don't know. You're the math expert here.
I'm really not.
It's
is that like what, 13 years?
Right. 13 years. So I'm talking 50 years.
Yeah.
Could you live without your iPhone? Could you go back to the equivalent of phones they had in 2008? Could you honestly use a BlackBerry every day?
No.
Right. So I think people will look at cash like they now look at BlackBerries.
What cash? Like actually spending cash? Because they already do that.
No.
Like actual money on your bank?
US dollars.
Yeah.
I think what you'll have is you'll have a cryptocurrency wallet on your ANZ bank app, and you'll get paid in USDC or NZDC or AUSDC.
I can see that happening.
Right?
I don't ever see myself getting paid in Bitcoin.
And you'll go and buy fish and chips from East Village Takeaway with your NZDC.
Yeah, that's it. That's true, bro. I can see that happening. In the next 50 years, I could probably see that happening.
Because
probably not Bitcoin being the main one, but like these...
Bitcoin will be like gold.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's a...
Where does Ethereum and Solana then come into that? Was like silver and...
We're going to need to take something if you want to start going down that rabbit hole. But the whole point I'm trying to make is that Bitcoin is limited supply.
Yeah.
Sort of like gold.
Yeah.
Although gold itself is inflated every year when they mine some more.
Yeah.
So if there was no more actual physical gold, like a gold ring, that you could ever get anywhere else, the price would naturally increase in time unless nobody wanted gold anymore. And so I think that's exactly what Bitcoin is, or what it was, what the point of it was.
Yeah.
Is to create something that you can't just create more of out of thin air like you can with US dollars. Jerome Powell, the daddy, is printing money and printing money and printing money and printing money, deflating the value of the currency every time he does it. And if you buy Bitcoin, the only thing you're doing is taking more of it off the marketplace. Imagine you've got a giant pile of gold. If you go and take some of that gold and put it in your pocket, you've now taken it off the marketplace and makes that pile of gold a little bit more expensive for everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the only problem is two things. If Bitcoin suddenly becomes the main source of value exchange for extremely illegal activities, which the US dollar is already being used for, a lot of cartels pay in cash because it's quite hard to trace as opposed to wire transactions.
That was going to be my point. Like, do you think that there's, in the next 50 years, do you think that there's just that much shady shit that happens in the world where we'll still need cash? Because I would think that there would be.
I think what's going to happen is almost overnight, no one is going to accept cash as a valid store of value. And there will always be criminals, and there will always be ways that criminals store value.
To get around the thing, yeah.
They might go from trading US dollars to trading guns or commodities or diamonds or Bitcoin. And I think that if something like Bitcoin became the main source of value for criminals, there'd be an issue. But at the end of the day, there's a limited supply. So the more that you personally collect, the more expensive it becomes for anybody else. And there's a balance. If you've got 1,000 Bitcoin and you decide to sell them, you put them back out on the marketplace, and then I go buy that 1,000, then it's balanced out. But if you've got 100 million Bitcoin and you unload them all, and I go buy 1,000, well, my 1,000 is still going to be worth less because there's more supply than demand.
Yeah. Fucking hell. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Oh my God, dude, my brain's fried. Let's talk about jiu-jitsu, bro.
I think we should wrap that up there and we should save jiu-jitsu for another one.
Do you reckon?
I think so.
How long have we been going? It doesn't even show me on here.
It doesn't show you?
No.
Well, I got here at, I don't know. When did I get here? I must have got here at about 6:15.
Oh yeah, going for an hour.
That's solid.
That's on, bro. Well,
is this the second or first episode of this?
First.
Is this the first episode?
Yeah. There you go.
I feel privileged. We should come back and do another one tomorrow.
First published. First published. Yeah.
I think there's a lot in here, and I think I should come back tomorrow and talk about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, let's talk about jiu-jitsu tomorrow.
Because I'm very passionate about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Signing off.
Right.
Sayonara.
On.
See you later.